The Baltimore Orioles have been kind of the laughingstock of the American League East since they went 47 and 115 in 2018. But the times are changing, and the Orioles look set to make a run in a couple years. My name is Derek. I'm here with Patrick, and you're watching Bleacher Brawls. So obviously, the Orioles, it's been a rough stretch for them, obviously. But I'll go to you first, Patrick, before I go. Thoughts on their future?
Um, obviously the Orioles are in a tough division right now, and they've been bad for a while. Because of that, they've been able to be okay with being bad. And I think that their fan base has accepted a certain amount of being bad in return for some solid draft picks and in return for really taking these minor league guys and giving them time to develop. And I also think that with most of the Orioles minor league teams being in Maryland, folks actually get a chance to see those players play from time to time. And that kind of excites them for the future.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of guys. You can name them off. Go.
Number one prospect's Adley Rutschman. Your number two prospect is Grayson Rodriguez. Number three, I have Gunnar Henderson, then Colton Cowser, DL Hall, Jordan Westbrook, Kobe Mayo, Kyle Stowers, Heston Kjerstad, and Kyle Bradish. That's their top 10 prospects. Here's the thing about them.
These guys are legit guys, all of
them. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing, even too. 8 of those 10 have an MLB ETA of 2022 or 2023.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are 2024.
Exactly. And
they're coming. They're coming.
Exactly. And with the crew that they have right now, I mean, the offensive side of things right now is nothing to laugh at. Derek will put the lineup card up while I'm talking. The lineup for Adley Rutschman's debut was a legitimate big league lineup and the first one they've had for a long time. Mullins, Hayes, Santander, Mancini, Mountcastle, Rutschman. That is a 1 through 6 that beats out most teams 1 through 6. Okay. You got Jorge Mateo in the 9 hole. That guy, last time I checked, was leading the majors in stolen bases. If he's not leading as of this recording, he's top 3, right? That's a great 9 hitter. Okay. The offensive side of things, they know what's up, and they've still got more guys coming. Granted, maybe Rutschman was kind of like the thing that made them legitimate. I don't think Robinson Chirinos was getting the job done. But, they've got guys here right now, and if they're not foolish enough to get rid of them, and they can wait 2023, 2024 for some more of these guys to come up, gather some arms, they're going to be legit.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting for Orioles fans. It's good. They already have that core of Mullins, Hayes, Mountcastle. I'll throw an honorable mention to Shea Mancini because I just don't feel like he'll ever leave Baltimore. And the guys coming up like Rutschman, like Gunnar Henderson, and there's obviously much more, but those are just kind of your main guys. They have it set, and then you got I think Grayson Rodriguez can be an ace in the MLB someday. Mm-hmm. Add along John Means, who with the extension of left field in Baltimore, he's going to be even better than he's already been. And you got other guys as well coming through. But here's the big thing that's for Baltimore for me is obviously you got the prospects and you got the younger guys in the big leagues who have control time. But when Baltimore's good, they're willing to spend money. We saw it with example, that's Chris Davis' contract. Did it work out? No. But they signed the guy to a 7-year deal over $100 million. Like they will spend the money when they need to and when they're good to try and win. And when this Baltimore core is young, but they're good at the same time, they can go out and add a guy to fill in a hole on their roster to make their team that much better. And I think that's what they'll do at some point.
You're exactly right. They've got GM Mike Elias coming over from Houston, and he's doing the same exact thing that he did with that organization, or they did in that organization, right? Be bad for a long time, be the joke of the league, make some really, really solid first-round picks, some better picks than a lot of organizations, right? Develop those guys, and then once they're ready, then you start signing the free agents, right?
Exactly.
Once you're ready to go, then you start spending the money. there was a lot of talk. Is Carlos Correa going to come to Baltimore? You know, when he
Yeah.
was looking for a contract this season, got a great relationship with Mike Elias, right? It was never going to happen because they're going to spend that money in 2 years, in 3 years, right? When they're ready to contend. I could be wrong, but at least at the beginning of the season, I'm pretty sure the Baltimore payroll was less than Max Scherzer's salary. Okay.
I think it was.
They've got money to spend. And they're not going to spend it right now. I don't think they should, but they can grow some of these homegrown guys, and then pick up the missing pieces in a couple of years. They'll be legitimate.
And we talk about homegrown guys. Well, guess what? They got the number 1 pick this year. You have 3 great options at the top, and maybe even a 4th great option. You're looking at Drew Jones, son of Andrew Jones, who seems like the clear and win consensus number 1 prospect. You have Elijah Green. Tamar Johnson was always around the 2nd or 3rd guy. Now he's kind of dropped to 4th in the list, and Jackson Holiday actually jumped up. You have 2 outfielders, a shortstop, and a second baseman, but the second baseman's easily the best hitter in the class. The Orioles are going to get a legitimate, really good prospect with the 1st overall pick, and you add that to the guys they already have. They're going to go position player. There's not really a pitcher. In my opinion, the best pitcher in the draft class is Dylan Lesko, and he just had Tommy John surgery, so they're not going to go pitcher. They're going offense. They're going position player. And I think they go Drew Jones. And that's just, it doesn't matter. Even if they don't go, they're getting a stud who's going to be a top 15 prospect in baseball, in my opinion, right out the gate, and ready to, get in their system and be ready to go.
They've got as of right now, they've got the number 1 farm, farm system in the league, right? I think even once Rutschman graduates, I think they might still have the number 1 farm system in the league, right? And that guy is he's a superstar. And so they're going to get to the point where they've got stars coming up. And this is not going to be like a Tampa Bay thing where they've got like everyday guys coming up, and they've got like solid lineup guys coming up. They could have legitimate stars coming up like every 4 months for the next 4 years, And they've already got some great guys right now. Exactly. And so I think if they can figure out the pitching side of things, then that'll be it.
Yeah. And also it is a very position player heavy top end for the prospects. As of right now, Orioles have 2 of the top 3 prospects in baseball. Rushman's 1, Grayson Rodriguez is 3. And that's your best pitcher. Your next pitcher's at 10 with Kyle Bradish. But also too, they have a bunch of outfielders in the system. If they add like a Drew Jones in the draft this year, they can always flip a guy like a Heston Kjerstad, like whoever else that they have. They can flip them for pitching and just kind of do a prospect swap. There's Cedric Mullins has been in rumors. If they feel like they can't keep him, or they don't want to pay him when he has arbitration, well, guess what? Because he doesn't fit their timeline, flip him and bring back some legitimate pitching prospects. They legitimately could do that.
I hear you. I gotta say, as a frequent visitor to Camden Yards, and clearly a huge Baltimore Orioles fan, there are some guys that are keeping the fans around right now. Cedric Mullins, Trey Mancini, like you said, Ryan Mountcastle. If these guys stick around and become the veterans to the rookie presence in 3 years when the team is legit, you're going to have a very, very happy fan base who sat through a lot of shit and earned this, right? Yep. If they do something stupid and get rid of those guys, then I think that they're going to lose that like fan momentum that they're building up. I mean, overnight, the fan base went from depressed to we have a future the day Rutschman got called up.
And wait till Grayson Rodriguez gets called up later this year.
Exactly.
Most likely.
Exactly. And I think that if they can just keep doing that, they're going to keep everybody happy. And maybe they don't have to, maybe they can charge more than $4 for tickets.
Yeah. They might need to start charging more than $4 a ticket because everyone's going to buy that up in like 2 seconds in like 3 years when they're going for a World Series.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on this Orioles team and what lies ahead for them in the future?
No, they ruined Camden Yards with the left field wall. You can find everything I have to say about that at The Boy Who Loved Joe Kelly. You can find me on Twitter. It looks terrible. It's bad for baseball. It's bad for Camden Yards. If they just fix that and put it back, everything will make the baseball gods happy, and they'll win the World Series in 2025.
Yeah, this Orioles team is going to be good, and the rest of the AL East is going to need to watch out.
If they don't, then Ryan Mountcastle's going to hit this bomb that lands a foot short in Game 7 of the World Series, and they'll lose, and the baseball gods will have even things out.
All right, well, you heard it there. You heard it there.
I'm calling it. Game 7 of the 2025 World Series.
Oh, there you go. Orioles to be in the 2025 World Series. That's going to wrap it up, though. Make sure to check out all the links in the description, website, Instagram, podcast, Twitter, the whole crew's Twitter. Make sure to check out all our previous videos. We did have a couple prospect pipelines, Red Sox game recaps, a couple other videos as well. So make sure to check those out. And make sure to stay in tune with us on Twitter because we could be doing Twitter spaces for games. So if you want to join us live, that's the place to do it. For Patrick, I'm Derek, and you're watching Bleacher Brawls. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.